We're live.
Oh boy.
Oh. All right, JR, get us started.
How's it going, everybody? You guys been hitting the salt pretty heavy lately, had you? How was the 2-day controversial snapper season? How'd it go?
We hadn't been hitting the salt hard lately. The salt's been hitting us hard lately.
Yeah, I seen it was too rough to get out there, wasn't it? But you kind of braved the elements there that first day, didn't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Wes, you weren't able to get out, were you?
Man, I tell you, we started a little bit late, and then that outgoing tide out of Little River, and our inlet, like Pete will tell you, it's due south. When you go out of Little River Inlet, if you keep going straight, you'll be at the tip of Africa. And that we had an outgoing tide, and that wind was blowing about 15, 18 knots. Dude, and it was brutal. I couldn't even get out of the inlet. I didn't even try. Water was literally busting over the rocks. I mean, it was just wasn't worth any fish, much less two snapper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is it? One fish per person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it pays to bring a bunch of people with you on that day, huh?
Safely bring a bunch of people with you. Yes.
Well, and then like Pete said, it ain't just. I wouldn't have even did it if it was just for a snapper. But you can catch. If you like to troll, I think Pete got a couple. They wound up with a cobia and a couple other fish that really, kind of topped the trip off. What y'all wind up with, Pete?
4 cobia and landing 3 kings. We missed about 4 or 5 more kings, but they were all very small.
Oh, okay. You caught some kings. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw pictures of the kings.
I was holding 1 king about 22 pounds, and there was 1 king on the floor there behind us. And
Okay.
we had one, man. I mean, he may have kept, but I shook him off on purpose. I don't want to really mess with the 25-incher, you know what I mean? So.
Right. I seen that one pic of y'all holding all those fish. Weren't they all red snapper? The pic of everyone holding the fish?
Yep, those are all reds. There was a cobia, and you can see in my hand I had about 21, 22-pound king in the hand as well.
Okay.
And believe it or not, that king actually is the first time ever this happened for me. It hit a bottom rig on the bottom.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yep.
I've never had that happen either. Well, of course, I haven't done a lot of bottom fishing for that to happen, but that is pretty cool. I bet that was a cool experience, fighting a king
It was,
from
yeah.
just sitting still. Yeah.
We were, fishing the bottom, and he hit, and he raced up to the surface and made a lap around the boat, and everyone's like, "This is a shark." I'm like, ain't no way a dang shark's got this speed right here. I mean, it took off.
So, just cut squid?
It actually, I think I had a live pinfish on there when he hit.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Live pinfish. Where'd you catch the pinfish on? Just
right at the marina. The day before, we caught a bunch of Spanish mackerel, and I cleaned them, and I chunked them over there at the cleaning station. And I gave about a minute or two for them to kind of gather up, and I threw my cast on top of them. I think I probably got 50 or 60 one throw.
Oh, that was smart. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to try that, Wes. But I think you guys have a what is it, like a muskrat or something that comes over there and gets y'all's carcasses when you clean your fish.
It's an otter.
Otter, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big otter.
Before I threw the cast net, there was a damn gator right there hanging out.
Oh.
I made sure he was clear the area.
So that's at Southport Marina.
Yep.
Wow, there's gators there.
Yep.
Wow.
There's one that visits every so often, and sure enough, he was there that first evening.
That's crazy.
Pete, we went up to the second bridge today, coming up Little River. And then going up into North Carolina up past Calabash. And we went all the way up to the second bridge, or where me, you, and Keith put in when first time I went fishing with you guys.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I told Keith, I said, buddy, that was kind of hairy, especially when we was trying to get the boat back up with that outgoing tide. But I said, you ain't going to try your new boat in there, are you? He said, hell no. I tell you, man, they got them. That is a tight squeeze to get in when you got an incoming or outgoing tide. That boat ramp right there is just not for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which boat ramp are you talking about, Wes?
Is it Sunset, Pete?
I want to say it's not Sunset. It is maybe it is Sunset. I don't know. I think it is Sunset. You're right.
You got Sunset, then you got Ocean Isle right there beside of each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
so Wes, would you agree on the first day? So you barely poked out the inlet, okay? And I bet you the inlet was a little rougher, but Would you probably agree with me that they were all every bit of 3 to 5s?
Yes, every bit of it. And my inlet was probably, well, I tell you what, when me and Joe, we were sitting there, I told Joseph, I said, we can hang out here for about an hour or two, but I think it's just going to get worse. And shortly after I said that, Pete, a yellowfin came by me with 350s on it. No, I'm sorry. It had, three 450s. And I bet he was running every bit of 55 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, that's just unbelievable in this water. So he goes on out, and I said, watch this. I wonder if he's going to slow down at the end of the jetty right there. Dude, he went out, made a hard right turn, and never let up. And then
go ahead.
And then about 2 minutes after that, here comes an Invincible with 4 450s on it. Never let up. Went out, made a hard right turn. And then about a minute after that, here come the biggest Freeman I've ever seen. It had 4 450s on. I don't know what the deal is with these 450s now. That's like the go-to motor on these big boats. But he came by us. He made a right. And about the time he got out to the point, it dawned on me. And I think, Pete, you said you're one of your best friends won that tournament. They were having that big kingfish tournament out of Georgetown.
Yep.
And that's where they were running to.
Yep.
Those boats can handle such rough seas because they got so much hull. They have so much hull in front of the helm.
Yep.
There's so much hull up there in front of the console that it's almost like when you're in a little tiller boat, how you can just go wide open. It's like you feel like you can just take anything because you got 90% of the vessel in front of you. You know, that I think that's the way those yellowfins are, those big offshore center console offshore boats. They got so much boat in front of them, they can get hammered and they don't really feel it.
So when we ran out on the first day, JR, you could probably agree to this, or you should know about this, I guess. We knew on Friday with those 18 to 25 mile an hour winds, the inlet would be nasty to the Cape Fear River. So normally it'd be a lot rougher out there. I guess about a mile stretch roughly poking through the inlet there. So we took the western cut. Made the turn to the western cut, went down about a mile, and then from there shot offshore. And the first 2 or 3 miles, it was pretty bad because, those that are familiar, that's Jaybird Shoals right there. So it's pretty shallow. It's about anywhere from 12 to 18 feet roughly for a couple miles. So riding out there, and it is every bit of 3 to 6s, I guess. Not close together. They're pretty far apart overall. You can hit one, ride it. So we're doing about 14 knots going through all that. And then once we got to about 40 foot of water, I don't want to say it laid down, but the waves got knocked down some. So now instead of 4 to 7 footers, 4 to 6 footers, we're talking about 3 to 5s. And they're pretty spaced out pretty decent. So we're knowing where I'm going is literally straight in the wave the whole entire time. So, had we have hit it at a different angle, we may have turned around and come back, just knowing that we'd get absolutely annihilated out there. But we made about 18, 22 knots heading out. And, 23 miles, simple math, we'd be about an hour boat run. And that's what it took roughly to get out there. About 10 a.m., it seemed like it laid down slightly. And when I mean slightly, maybe a notch or two. But then it kicked back up again around 1 o'clock. And we rode back pretty good. I'd say with waves at our back, we made about 34 knots heading back at times. Not consistent, but you catch a good wave at your back and you're hauling ass up until the last 5 miles roughly. But we actually came inshore to troll for kings, and that's what we caught cobia at. But it was almost unbearable as far as trolling. That'd be the limits as far as what I'd call pleasant enough to troll. I mean, it was doable, but instead of fishing my 5-rod spread, I used 4 only. So,
did it get rougher when you got to the mouth of the Cape Fear there, coming back into Southport?
So what was going on as we got closer? There's a wall of storms. There's a line of storms that seemed like was forming, and you could tell that it was confused seas. So you had winds blowing offshore and the waves coming inshore, so it turned more to a washing machine scenario.
Yeah, that's scary. I hate it when that happens there.
Yeah, me and Joseph actually split those storms Saturday, Pete. You remember those two? I think that was you.
Yep.
Remember you messaged me? When we came into the inlet, we actually split those storms, and I got back to Cricket Cove, And while we were starting to clean fish, that other storm before it actually moved inshore. So we split those storms coming in. So we got lucky on that one.
Well, I got a little clip, Wes, of our trip. You want to see it? I just downloaded a little 1 minute clip here right before the show.
I'll see where the current's taking me to the back. Where's the remote? Where's the remote? Go out. Ow, here, come here, get the rod. Woohoo! Go, buddy.
Is that your first AJ, dude?
Oh, yeah.
That thing's quite good, don't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's one way to fight seasickness right there, baby. What you think you got, bud? Big AJ?
What you got, buddy? Need that rod.
There you go. Yes, sir. Put them in a box. All right.
Oh, yeah, here you go. That's a big one.
Oh, yeah. Everybody done tapped out but Wes. This some guy's a machine. Engaged. Yeah. Look at that beautiful fish.
That's a good one. Where'd Pete go?
He probably switched computers.
Yep.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, that's much better. Oh, he switched computers and cracked open a cold one.
You heard that, huh? Yes, sir.
But yeah, that was a good trip. I mean, but I tell you, it's Saturday. Me and Joe, like I said, we started late, and I got some numbers from my buddy Josh, and he said, "Wes, I hadn't fished up there in about over 2 years." So I said, I just picked the Governor, and I don't know if that's a community spot. He didn't tell me. I don't know if that was something he named or there's actually a spot because I didn't see it on none of the maps. So have you ever heard of that spot, Pete, the Governor? No. So I went to the Governor and there was nothing there. I mean, it was just flat. And I don't know, Pete, if you might see it later in one of the videos. I'm not dropping a rod, not even at 60 or 70 feet, much less 160 feet, unless I mark something on that depth finder. If I don't mark nothing, that means there's nothing there. So I told Joseph, I said, we ain't gonna have that long to fish. I said, and I always leave my trolling motor down. If I'm in a good spot or if I think I'm in a good spot, and I didn't know nothing about that area at the time, I just leave my trolling motor down. And I'll just put it in gear and just kind of ease around, till marks start showing up on the depth finder. So the first spot we came to, I had a couple of marks. So I just hit the anchor lock and I told Joseph, I said, drop them right here. We dropped them, caught a black sea bass, a keeper. And then the marks went away. I said, well, that was short-lived. So I told him just reel a rod up. So we moved about 200 feet from that. And then all of a sudden it's like, Pete, the whole bottom came to life. Did you see those pictures I sent you?
Yeah.
So I hit anchor lock right there, and we caught 8 black sea bass, 8 keepers, just back to back to back to back. And I said, "Oh hell," because that's not done a lot this time in the summer, especially in that depth of water. So, and then like I said, then he got that snapper, and I lost a big snapper. When I say a big snapper, I mean he popped an 80-pound leader. His teeth just got it in the right spot. But
Wes, I don't mean to interrupt you, Wes, but what about the 100? Is that 112 volt or 36 volt? I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah,
is that a 36 volt trolling motor?
12-pound thrust. I actually just had the 36 volt lithium battery put on it. You
need every bit of that 36 volt for that out there.
Well, I run less than that. Motor, I run it about 8 hours, 7 or 8 hours, give or take, all 3 days. We fished 3 days. We fished them in inlet, and I still had 52% of the battery left.
That's nice.
Very nice.
So, but anyway,
you don't have that luxury, do you, bud?
Almost. Well, for me, a small boat, almost.
But like I said, and then we found that spot. So I just got lucky there again. You know, when you're out there, and then like Pete said, I asked Pete, I said, that's kind of unusual, isn't it, to catch fish like that? He said, well, what happens is you get a lot of spots out there that's not fished a lot, you know, there's nobody knows about. And those fish will start get congregating in there, and that's where they stay for whatever reason, unless it's bait, live bottom. And then nobody's fished it. So those fish will stay there. They gain some size. We just, you know, there again, it's luck. You know, you just riding around. It's like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack, more or less. And we lucked up and found the needle. But I mean, it was a good trip. I got the fish cooked for me last night.
How many times did you lose it on Joseph out there? Me and Pete was talking before the show. I was like, you know, I said Wes is going to lose it at least once on a fishing trip.
No, actually, I tell you, the biggest thing when I lost it last time was I run out of, I know this is going to sound funny, but I run out of Ziploc bags tying my chicken rig. So I put like 10 rigs in one bag.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that.
Yeah, don't ever do that.
Don't ever do that. Don't never do that, because I promise you, you will not get one of them undone.
Yeah,
so,
you're
anyway,
right.
So now I put them all in a single Ziploc bag. But no, I mean, we had a blast, and I'm glad Joseph came down. It was his birthday. And, you know, Joseph last year was down here on his birthday. Me, him, and Keith went out. You know, we caught those kingfish, and I didn't even know it was his birthday again. So, but I mean, it turned out to be a great weekend, and nice. I got to fish the snapper season this year. So I feel like I'm a big boy like Pete is now.
You know, so what we did, you know, the area that we fished at, I've been pounding red snapper out there consistently in places that it's not, you know, don't even quite go out there that far to catch them. I knew we weren't going to catch any big ones there, but we at least catch something, you know. So I ran out there to this large area. I'm going to say it's about a half-mile area of scattered live bottom and such. And instead of dropping the bottom in that rough shit, we decided to start trolling first thing. Troll a couple laps, watching the bottom and everything, seeing where the better congregation of bait and fish is and structure and that kind of stuff. And I mean, 3 laps around this cluster, and in 3 laps, we lost a king, we missed 2 kings, and we had a mystery fish, the third one that got off near the boat. I think it's a small king, but did all that. And then within our first drift, we had 3 red snapper in the boat that quick. I mean, first drift within, I'd say, less than 10 minutes, bang, 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 3 reds. And then from there, we started calling some, I guess. So the 3, I think the first 3 were good keeper size. And after that, a couple small ones here and there, a couple sea bass. And then we finished off with a decent one at the very end. And then that head boat actually, the Pride Carolinas, I guess, Little River Fishing Fleet, whatever they call it, they came rolling in there right near us, and we talked on the radio. I told them, "Hey guys,
let me guess, Pete. They, Pat, when we were going out, they went to the left of me. Do you remember the numbers I sent you?
Yeah,
they were about a mile and maybe 2 miles north of me. So you know where they were, right? Starts with an S.
Yeah, I think.
That's what I figured. When I looked them up on my radar, they were sitting right on top of the shark hole.
Oh, gotcha. Well, we were about 8 miles north or south of the shark hole there.
Well, for those of you that's trying to figure out the one that starts with an S, it's the shark hole. He just told you.
Yeah, there's nothing important about the shark hole. Right?
No, that's a community spot.
It is. But we were near the York hole where we were at, pretty close to it, and they came rolling in there to our spots. And again, by then we had our 4 fish. We're just playing around. And I talked on the radio. I said, "Hey, you know, they're being respectful to us where we're at and kind of setting up to the side. You know, there's like 50 guys in the boat." So I called him on the radio. I said, "Hey, don't worry about us. Get on top, drift through. We'll move out your way. We got our 4. You know, have fun, do what you gotta do." So you know, he thanked us and went up top and started the drift. And I'd say within 20 minutes we were gone. But they came in there and you know that looked like they caught a few fish as well.
Yeah, Josh sent me those things. Number 2, the Yorkie, Y-O-R-K. I think he had it named Y-O-R-K-E.
Uh-huh.
And I started to go there too. And I just picked the Governor because it was kind of straight out for us. I think it was like 31-mile run. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question, Pete. Now, Josh told me this, and it made sense last year. And I haven't tried it yet because I've always found fish. Been lucky so far. But he said, Wes, if you ever get in a spot, you know, and you just can't find nothing, you know, fish are usually there. He said he takes a chum bag and puts a 20-ounce weight on the bottom of it and puts it on a rod and drops it on the bottom. And it makes sense. You know, if you're using a chum bag and you're bottom fishing, I don't see how that can help you at all. It might bring some fish up to the top, but that scent's going to stay on top of the water. But he said, you drop that chum bag and let it get on the bottom, and every now and then just pull your rod up and down, up and down, up and down. And he said, you'd be surprised how many fish that'll. And he said, but the downside, he said he has had sharks to hit his chum bag and tear it all to hell.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once we had our 4 decent snapper, we had them alive. Well, you know, kept them alive and everything. I looked at the crew. I'm like, hey guys, y'all want to go offshore to where I really want to go? And I look at the chart, and it was about 11 miles from where we're at. 11 miles offshore. So I asked them, you guys want to go there? And I looked. No one said yes or no, but I saw the look in their eyes, like, no. So I was like, all right. So we turned around. We went to the shark hole. And that's actually where we caught our cobia at, the shark hole.
well, you know, I was reading the rules because, like I said, I'm still really new to this. You know, I'm trying to learn as much as I can. But the rules for South Carolina, or the federal rule, says you have to have a descending device and have it readily available. So I went to 4 different stores down here: West Marine, Bolanos Hardware, and Bass Pro Shops. And can you believe nobody in these fishing departments knew what a damn descending device was? Nobody. And
I got one. They're only like $2, right?
Well, but I gave like $6 for this one. But I finally found one. I went to the Bolanos Hardware. They didn't know what it was. He said, I think I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure, but it'll probably be in this area. And I walked up and down the aisle, and I finally found one. And I was like, this thing, they say this is a law. You have to have them when you're bottom. I didn't know this. You got to have them when you're bottom fishing at all times, not just for snapper.
Yep.
And nobody knows what it is. So I thought that was kind of crazy. You work in a tackle shop at the beach, and you're a mile from the ocean, and you don't know what a descending device is.
Yeah.
Is there? I think there's a more simple name for it.
No, that's it. Descending device.
That's it. Descending device.
There's a second device that's called a venting tool, I guess. Plain and simple.
Yeah, that's probably what you need to say.
You got to have that as well. There's 2. There's the descending device and the venting tool.
Now, what do they call a fizzler, Pete? Something like you just
that's the same thing. That's the same thing.
Same thing. Okay.
Some say that you can stick a hook in them and it vents them, which you can, you know. So
yeah, of course.
You can argue that.
And you know, I did not see one, which I was only out there one day, but I did not see one DNR boat. I never seen the Coast Guard. I never seen no kind of law enforcement at our inlet, from the inlet all the way back to Cricket Cove. When we came back in, I didn't hear no radio chatter about them. So didn't you say y'all had one checking y'all's feet?
Yep. Going through the Cape Fear River, there was one right there, dead center, waiting. And he had a boat already pulled over that I guess came in earlier. So we just flew right by him and kept on going.
I wonder how many tickets they wrote. I don't believe they were out in full force.
I'll be honest with you, I doubt they wrote very many because
the weather.
Fished. I mean, so we went to go refuel. I mean, once we got in, we went straight to the fuel dock, and the guy actually that greeted us there, he's like, "You guys actually went?" I was like, "Yes, sir." Can you see the salt coming off my hair right here? You know. So there's a guy in front of us, a guy behind us. They all turned around about 3. One guy said 3 miles out. They turned around. They came in. The other one said they never even went through the inlet at all. Turn around. And these guys were in like 25, 28-foot boats. So instead, they decided to ride to Wrightsville Beach and go to a restaurant, do the thing. But so they're all questioning how rough was it out there. I was like, it was definitely too damn rough to even think about going. But I knew what the boat was capable of. So,
well, our boats will always take more than we can take anyway. So
the big difference was going straight into the seas. Had it have been any other direction, I would have thought different for sure. But just knowing that we're directly going into the seas, heading to our spot, that made all the difference.
You know what's ironic, Junior? What? Today, I went down to my boat this morning. I said we took the kids out. We rode up to the inlet. Dude, it looks like the Dead Sea out there. Fish Weather said there were 1.2 and 1.5 footers at 12 and 13 seconds apart. Unbelievable. We couldn't got at least one of those days for fishing. We get it during the middle at the first of the week. It's just flat.
So is there any reason why you headed, it sounds like you headed south, Peter?
I headed to a spot that I knew there's fish at without needing to go 35 miles.
So you were hitting state waters?
I was exactly straight line distance from land, 23 miles offshore.
Oh, okay. So how many is it the same in North and South Carolina as far as how many per person? Is it one or is it
It was
two?
just one person.
Okay.
That's federal. South Carolina says you can keep, what is it, two per person? No,
I think
two
it's
per
two.
person. But in South Carolina says they have to be 20 inches. Federal
20
says
inches,
that you can keep one person, one fish per person. That don't matter how long they are. But there was a DNR agent down at my marina Friday, and I asked him, I said, Bud, listen, I said, what is the deal with the state saying one thing and federal saying another on the snapper? And he said South Carolina just didn't want to feel like they were being bullied by the federal government. And it goes back to politics. And he said the state says they're not going to let nobody tell them what they can do in state waters. So they just made that law. He said it is just politics. So
that was North Carolina, though, wasn't it?
No, South Carolina.
FC.
I know that North Carolina has no separate season for red snapper in state waters. Like North Carolina is the only state in the South Atlantic that don't have regulations on red snapper within state waters.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's weird. And I was talking to Keith today, and we was talking about all the traffic in Little River Inlet. And I didn't know this, but he said a lot of that, especially the skiffs, I've seen a lot of Carolina skiffs today. He said they're going down because they'll go down and launch in South Carolina because of the flounder.
I was telling you that.
Oh, that you telling me that? Okay. Yeah, you can't keep flounder in North Carolina, but you can keep them in South Carolina. So,
yep.
Well, let me ask you this, Pete. If they put in, why can't they put in on the North Carolina side and just come down to the Little River Inlet and get on the South Carolina side and fish for them?
Because you got to come back through NC again, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. And then if you're pulled over with them in North Carolina, sure.
Yeah, so you're thinking like your home lakes where you got one license for two states, but NC and SC does not have that agreement at all. You got to have a separate license for each state.
Mm-hmm. Y'all go into a little bit of more detail on that descending device. Like I'm sure most people probably don't even know what that is. Isn't it like does it have like a weight on it?
So what it is, it's a weighted device, and you actually clamp it on the mouth of a fish, and it kind of works with the water pressure, I guess, down deep, where once you hit you can kind of preset it to where it will release at, let's just say 100 foot. So you drop it down, and once you hit that 100-foot mark, in theory, it should release, and the fish should be down there and swim off like nothing ever happened.
Now the one I bought, it's got a long J hook on it, kind of like a long straight hook, and then at the bottom of it, you've got an eye, and then at the top you've got a swivel. Well, the rule says that you have to have at least 16 ounces of weight at the bottom of that descending device. Then what happens is when you release that fish and it sinks him, after he gets to a certain, and there again, I don't know what depth or how far you should let him go down, but whenever you get ready to release it, when you pull your rod back up, it just pulls the hook back out of his mouth. It's like a barbless hook almost.
Yeah, there's two different types, but yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah, but there again, I don't see what's wrong with just poking a damn hole in them and let them ride.
Isn't this kind of like relatively new? I think that all you had to do was venom, right?
Relatively, as in maybe 6 years, roughly, give or take. So yeah.
But I believe most people, I say 99% of fishermen, from what I've seen, they just defizz them and let them go.
Yeah. I don't really fish much that deep to where fizzing them is an issue at all.
So how deep do you think that is?
Basically, anything over 110 feet, that's when you got to fizz them.
Okay.
Now, Pete, is it true? And I think somebody told me, like the amberjack, they don't have a bladder. Is why when you bring amberjack up from the deep like that, their mouth don't swell up. They don't get the bends.
I'm not too sure, man. Amberjack will fight all the way to the top. So it's like when you bring fish from the depths all the way to the top in a hurry, that's when they have that issue. But if you steadily bring them up, or if they fight all the way up, then they have enough time to kind of regulate themselves.
Hey, Pete, I'm still waiting on your Catch the Fever video. When they going to release that thing?
They've been doing little bits and pieces here and there.
I haven't seen it. I'm going to have to go look.
Go check on the pages. They had a shark one they released briefly. It was like a 20-second clip, I guess. But yeah.
Hey, JR, I told Pete he needs to get you out there one day when y'all can get offshore. Let you do a video for him trolling and bottom fishing, for his charter business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When do y'all want to do this overnight thing?
I got my August schedule, and it is a whole lot of suck, man. I got a lot of, it's a decent schedule, but it's only 3 and 4 days off in between trips. It's going to be kind of tough. I got the front of the month and the end of the month where I can possibly do something, but the middle, not so much.
Well, you want to wait and try to do it in September, October? We can get out and maybe hit a wahoo trolling and then come back in and spend the night?
I will say never guarantee on my end because I have no idea what my schedule is going to do. So we can kind of tentatively look into it. And the biggest thing also is, hold on a second. Biggest thing also is this guy right here. I got to find a short notice for him. So that makes it a little difficult.
Hey, Pete, the 6-foot precision cast rod versus Spanish mackerel. That's not you, is it?
Yeah.
It is you?
Yep.
The what? The 6-foot rod?
That was on the boat.
Okay. Let me.
There's a second one there somewhere with a hammerhead shark. A small little hammerhead. Somewhere.
On the Spanish out here with a precision cast rod.
This is what it's like to every day. Now open up your eyes, you see the world that is red. Now what's the word, Captain? You think it? They are not both.
On the Spanish out here with a.
What was that? What was that, Junior? I couldn't see it.
You couldn't see it because it was so small. It was a.
I couldn't hear it hardly.
It was a Spanish mackerel.
Whose boat was that?
That was Pete's.
That was mine.
Oh, okay.
That was the 3 hours that we can actually make it out and fish on that whole entire weekend.
I should have took them kids Spanish fishing today, but well, I've been down here since last Thursday. I'm ready to go home.
You whooped, huh?
I'm whooped. Benji Smith must be in the liquor tonight. He's the only one commenting.
Oh, Benji's always the one talking shit, but I ain't seen him do shit.
We need
in a
to
long
get
time, so,
we need to get this on Wes's Peter's Facebook too. I'm not even sure. Is it even playing on your Facebook, Wes? It's supposed to
be. Is it playing on my Facebook? No.
Yeah,
Lord said it never has.
We're gonna have to figure this thing out because I got your Facebook on there. So, but I don't know. We'd have a lot more viewers if we had everyone's Facebook.
From 2 more pages. Yeah. Well, what about YouTube? How many we got on YouTube?
Now we only got 9 total. That's including YouTube.
Damn.
Well, we need to figure out, JR. I guess we need to figure out how to get it on Pete's and my page.
Yeah, that would help. Maybe start promoting it a little bit, and we could be a little more prepared for the show. Have some, increase the quality of our content a little bit. That would probably help.
Well, we're gonna. I'm gonna call her one day this week, or probably. I might try to call her maybe over the weekend or Monday. I don't know about Tuesday yet, because I think she says she's in the middle of moving. But Pete, we may try to get. I met a young lady in Venice, Louisiana last year. Her name is London Rosieri. JR thought I was saying Yozuri.
I thought, yeah, he said, I was like, Yozuri, no way. I was like, does she like own Yozuri? And he's like, well, she owns her own bake company business or something. I was
She
like,
promotes something.
Wes,
I don't know what it is though.
I was like, man, if you landed the owner of Yozuri, I was like, man, that is awesome, dude.
But no, she's a mate. She fishes out of Venice, Louisiana. Dude, she just catches huge tuna, snapper. I mean, big eyes, yellowfin. I mean, she's just a hell of a fishing lady. She's who Darth Sizzle wishes she was. But she may be a guest with us Tuesday. She's an awesome young lady, great fisherman. We're gonna try to get her on the show one night. So, did you ever look her up, Junior?
I did, yes.
What is it that she does? I know she does a lot with children too, promoting stuff for kids. But I don't know exactly what all she does down there. Jeff Bill said, "What the hell is your YouTube channel?"
New School Fishing, Jeff. Jeff is putting on a tournament on. I guess you can fish whatever your home lake is. I'm not really sure of the details, but it's a flathead tournament, and it's going to be like toward the end of August. It's going to be a nighttime tournament, 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. I think. And it's only going to be like 6 or 8 or maybe 10 people. It's going to be pretty cool.
Cool.
I think it's whatever your home lake is. It's whatever river you want to fish. You know, like it's whatever's closest to you. You already get in it with us, Pete. Wes.
What's that?
A flathead tournament. One fish.
Okay. Interesting.
Interesting. I mean, you're on the Yakin chain. There's some monster flatheads on the Yakin.
Yeah, there are.
You probably don't know how to target them, though. It's not as simple as going out there and just dropping down some squid on a chicken rig.
Or trolling those, what do you call them? The clothes hangers, right?
Mm-hmm. Benji Smith. Here's a pretty... Said, I haven't seen you do shit in freshwater salt is for anyone. I can go to Myrtle Beach Fishing Pier and smoke your ass.
Yeah, he crazy as hell.
Yeah, Benji's in that liquor tonight. He's in that liquor every night.
Yeah, Benji just don't know.
Come on, let's put Benji on. You want to come on the show, Benj?
Come on, Benji. That's right. We need someone to flame.
Benji,
Scott Perry will come on here.
Benji's still on fire from Chris Brown catching that big beast off Russell and putting him on the wall.
Yeah. You mean Hartwell, right? Hartwell.
Huh?
You mean Hartwell?
That's right. Yeah, he did catch that fish on Hartwell, didn't he?
Still mad.
Still mad, flaming.
Yeah, they are highly upset at this guy that went recently to Russell and caught some striper, and now he's like promoting his guide business on Russell.
Who's doing this?
I forget the guy's name, but it's not hard to find. It's all over Facebook at the moment. They're holding up some pretty sizable stripers. You know, it's probably in the 20s range, and he's promoting his business, and he's trying to waller out Russell.
Well,
man, as a guide, people don't care unless they see pictures of fish at all. You know, that's the way it goes, unfortunately.
Well, we had an unwritten law in South Carolina, and I don't care about it no more as far as freshwater striper fishing a lot. I mean, I just kind of lost my passion for that. But there's an unwritten law about tournaments and guides on that lake. Just my opinion, I would be totally against it. For the simple fact, the lake, it is what it is. It's kind of been protected for people that want to catch big fish, not for people just trying to make money. Just my opinion. Brother, whoever you are, I don't care how you make your money, that's you. But Scott Perry, since your ass is watching here, the only reason I've tried to call your punk ass 3 times and you're not answering, I had you some black sea bass and some snapper. But since you choose not to answer the phone, you keep eating them damn trout and them nasty ass striper you're catching down Hartwell.
Scott said he'd just soon go down there to Food Line and buy a big old pack of tilapia and call it a day.
Yes, Scott, get on here, man. Come on. I need some help. Flame Wes with his one snapper.
Yeah, Daryl Barney thought he was flaming me with one snapper. I said, Daryl Barney, if I was you, the first thing I would do is learn how to read my fucking live scope and learn what left and right is and when to raise a goddamn trolling motor up and down, because he damn sure don't know. Boy, Anthony Johnson was all over his ass.
So wait a minute, Bidgie went fishing with Anthony Johnson recently?
No, I did. Me and Daryl, and let's see, it's me and Daryl and Todd.
I didn't know
and
that.
Anthony Johnson.
I didn't know this happened. I know that you went down there with Anthony Johnson and Daryl Barney. I didn't realize that Todd was there. And
man, I can't tell all my secrets. Hey, I learned what to keep off Facebook. I learned the hard way.
See, now that's a good video. That's when you need to call me and invite me and get it okayed with all those Anthony and all those guys, and let me come down there and make a basically like an underground striper culture, Tennessee culture video. That would be epic.
Oh man, that whole culture ain't nothing but a bunch of griping, bitching, complaining, who's doing what.
That's right. That's what people want to see. They want to see that.
The drama.
That's what they want. They want that drama.
And down here, since I've been down here, there ain't no drama with saltwater. Most of these guys, they're here to help you out. And you get with the right group of people, just like Pete. Pete's gave me some numbers. I caught fish. I tried to give him some numbers. I hope he uses them and catches fish. Josh gave me numbers. I've caught fish. I found my own numbers and caught fish. I mean, hell, those numbers I found out there off the ledge, dude. I've caught fish every time I've went out there.
You know what, Wes? You took a guy out there during a 2-day season, and you put a guy on his birthday on a nice red snapper. That's the way I look at it. You got some awesome pictures. You got some awesome memories. Nobody cares how many you catch. Like, everybody's all about numbers. They're saying, "Oh, you only caught one fish." Well, that one fish was all I needed. That's what made it epic.
Yeah.
Did that thing taste amazing? Did it not taste amazing?
Oh man, it was good. Hey, even my grandson loved it. He loved that black sea bass.
They don't know.
But like I said, so
how long do you guys plan on doing this?
I'll retire doing this. I mean, what else is there other than saltwater?
Well, there's the whole Tennessee striper deal.
I did it. I mean, what else could I do? I mean, I'm not saying it's bragging or being condescending. Okay, so don't take this the wrong way. I'm not being condescending. But what can I do in Tennessee that I haven't done or anybody else has done?
That you haven't already done, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and there's just a lot that I want to do out here. I mean, I say I'd like to hook a marlin just to say I've hooked one. I just don't know what the hell I'd do with it if I ever got it to the boat. I don't know how to handle those fish.
I think that we need to go to Tennessee and make a video. I don't think we have a Tennessee video, do we, Wes?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think we do, but not us together. I don't think.
Yeah, we need to make one of us together.
Tell you a story, Pete. We all went to one of my spots up in Tennessee, and me and JR, we didn't really have a falling out. We had a few words, but somehow or another we wound up making up. So JR was happened to be up in Tennessee that weekend, and he was staying at the same lodge where I stay at. So I said, look, here's what we're going to do. I said, do y'all want to catch a trophy fish or a chance at a big fish? And JR said, hell yeah. So we take off. So we go up there. So JR is fishing on Lacey. JR and Lacey is on Alan's boat. Alan let JR and Lacey use his Carolina skiff. So Alan jumped on the boat with me. So we get out there that afternoon. We set up, and I told JR, I said, JR, y'all can pull if you want to, but I'm going to go ahead and start cut baiting because the sun's down. So we've been fishing, JR, maybe an hour or so.
Mm-hmm. And
JR and them were just a little bit above us, up by the old railroad, the broken railroad trestle. And we heard a bunch of screaming and hollering, and goddamn, they caught a fish, and it was a big striper. I mean, they were sending pictures. You could hear them raising hell. Well, about that time, as soon as they got that fish sending some pictures, a rod went off. I told Alan, I said, that might be your fish, get it. So Alan went up there and clicked it in gear. dude, when he stuck that fish, the rod back over, I said, "There's your fish." I knew it was. I think Alan's fish was like 42, 43 pounds.
It was
anyway,
46, and it's on his wall.
Yeah,
that fish is on his wall.
So Alan got we got it to the boat, and listen, this is no lie, Pete. I netted the fish, and as soon as the fish hit the floor, the fish was still flopping. I turned around. I said, "Where's the pliers, Alan? Hand me some pliers." And he was on the phone with his wife, already telling her about that fish.
Damn.
So we was trying to holler up there at JR and him, and he was and Alan said, "I bet ours is bigger than yours." And Lacey was about drunk. He said, "Fuck no, it ain't either." They were just back and forth. Alan said, "Wait till I seen you these pictures." So we took a couple of pictures, and of course Alan wanted to keep the fish, so we kept it. And he sent them pictures to JR, and JR messaged back and said, "Damn, it is bigger than ours." So that was our first trip together, but we weren't on the same boat.
It was close enough.
Yeah.
Scott, that's funny as hell. You see what Scott Perry wrote?
Yeah, he said, "I thought this was a new show. It's a rerun. I've seen this one already." Hey,
Scott, you already missed the new part about the red snapper, but your ass is busy watering your grass, I guess. I don't know.
That was very, very good post you made on Facebook, Pete. About
you like
yeah.
I thought that was awesome. There was a fourth one I was going to put on there, but I decided not to.
Here,
it was actually bogus.
Let me see if I can find it right quick.
It's hilarious. Oh, you're not a part of the chain. You're not in the chain gang group there, so you wouldn't see it.
No, I don't need to hang around a bunch of adolescent men that think it's cool to piss each other off.
I was flaming Scott.
Wes is not geared for the chain gang.
No, I'm not geared to try to make my friends mad and talk about their family or talk about what they do just to see if I can make them mad. That's just like so fucking elementary school shit to me. But
I agree.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. All right, here we go. Let's share the screen. All right. Who had the better snapper day? A, B, or C?
I can't see it.
Oh my God.
I'm on my phone. I can't see it that good.
It's a picture of. Why am I echoing? Let me stop this. It's a picture of Pete's catch. A, B, or C. It's a picture of Pete and his clients holding fish, and then it's a picture of Scott Perry and his flip-flop standing in his yard.
Oh, okay.
And those were all friends, by the way, not clients, friends. So it was me and my friends. And then the second picture was you with all the fish laid out on the table. And the third photo was Scott Perry with his flip-flops and burnt-ass grass.
Damn. Yeah, but what's funny, and I've noticed in fishing, most of the people that talk shit are the same bitches that's sitting on their damn couch, not doing nothing, or they have to get permission from their wives. Can they go fishing if they can? Or their broke asses don't have no fucking money and can't afford to do it. So that shit don't even bother me no more.
There's a few folks out there that will go, I guess, for the right time of year.
Dude, half of them cats that's talking shit can't even be on the ocean without getting seasick and vomiting like a bunch of bitches.
True.
So they don't have.
Are you calling Al and Kenny bitches?
Who?
Al and Kenny, because they both got sick.
Well, yeah, but they don't talk shit to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No,
that's the difference. No, hey, I have been seasick before. Listen, I'm telling you, the last time I got sick, I'd been on the ocean. We were in Venice, and I fished for 3 days on that boat with Drew Rankin, and I was still hurting from catching that big tuna. But I got sick about 10 miles on the way back from shore, dude, and that was the longest 10 miles of my life. And they still had that smoker going, that big green egg on the boat, and smelling that smokes. And dude, I was just puking, and I drink water, and about every time I drink a glass, a couple of sips of water, I'd puke it back up, and it was horrible.
Who was you with?
Me and Drew Rankin and his brother Caleb.
Oh, when y'all went on that yellowfin tuna trip.
Yeah, that was. Listen, there again, I like to catch big fish, but 116-pound tuna, I don't want nothing like that no more, dude. Listen, I hurt for over a week when I got home. Yeah, every night my wife said, "Baby, you want me to rub your back again tonight? You want me to rub your shoulders?" I was putting Bengay on shit. I heard in places I didn't even know I
had. You sure it's not a rough ride out or in?
Yeah,
no. We were on like a 52-foot. Hell, this boat had like a galley in it, a kitchen, beds, and it was a big boat. And it wasn't that rough. It was just, I was just tired, man. And I don't know why I got sick. I guess for smelling that smoke smell. Man, they smoked. Listen, they didn't cook shit on everything they cooked on that boat. They smoked it. And I had that smoke smell, and I was getting sick too. And it was fucking horrible.
I think it's, you're much more likely to get sick on a trip if you are a client. If you're just chilling, if you're just sitting there chilling, you're not being proactive, you're not moving around. And number two, if it's a diesel, you're smelling the diesel exhaust, you're a client, so you're not being proactive, you're just kind of sitting there. Those are the two things that accompanied with being sleep deprived, because usually before you go out on a charter, you're leaving at 5 a.m. or earlier, and you didn't get much sleep. So you're showing up sleep deprived, you're not being proactive, and you're smelling diesel exhaust. And I think those three things is what gets you.
Dude, sorry for interrupting you, buddy. Listen, tell them what happens when you are proactive.
Well, when you are proactive, you lose your shit.
No, Pete. Let me tell you what happens.
Where's the control motor remote?
JR, can I tell this story on you?
Yeah.
Okay, we're coming back in. Last time JR went out with me, right? And I was tired, dude. I was beat. And I don't never listen. I've got $500 worth of damn bean bags on my boat, and I've only got to ride in one time. I just bought that for other people that goes offshore. So I told you, I said, man, you want to drive a little bit? So Kenny and Al was in the back in the bean bag. I said, I'm just going to go up front here and lay down for a minute. So I was just sleepy.
You really just wanted to test your cuddy out.
Yeah.
You never really get in there.
I said, I'm going to go up there for a minute. And I said, well, no, hell, I'm just going to try to sit here. So I sit here. So I sit there and I'm looking, and I just glanced over at the map. And instead of going a straight line, Pete, I don't know if you got the mapping on your Garmin. Mine will draw like an orange line. You want to stay on that orange line to where you're going. Well, hell, we had got like 2 fucking miles off of that line. And I looked over at JR, and JR's dead asleep, dude. He's riding the boat. He's like this.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. Am I serious, JR?
It's not it wasn't quite like that. No, you weren't
2 miles. He was out.
Tell me how it was, JR.
Okay, you weren't in the cuddy yet. You were
no,
in the
I said I wasn't in the cuddy yet.
You were in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
And I had just fallen asleep. I was like nodding, and I'd finally just fallen asleep. And you said, as soon as I fell asleep, you said, "JR, you want to drive?" And I was like, of course, I want to take some load off of you. I want to help. So of course I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I get behind the wheel, and I'm already almost asleep. So I get behind the wheel, and we start. You know how it is. You're staring at the horizon. You're looking at your coordinates. You're trying to stay on a certain degree. You're wanting to be as straight as possible. And I nodded off. I nodded off, and I was doing a 180 off course. And Wes yelled at me, woke me up.
Hell, good for him. I'm glad he yelled at you. Shit.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I fell asleep. It's the first time I've ever done that.
I bet you again.
In my defense, I was already asleep when he asked me to drive. So.
Hey, and then I got up in the cuddy to lay down. Then I was laying there. Then I got to thinking, oh, hell, he might fall asleep again. Hey,
you got you scared, huh?
He was nervous as hell.
JR, you up? Yeah, I'm up.
Like every 15 minutes, he would yell, "JR, you all right?" Yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to fall asleep again, I promise.
That's hilarious.
But anybody, like again, not just people talking shit, anybody. Saltwater fishing, people, I love it when people say the easy button. Saltwater, there's nothing really easy about it. You're going to work to go out there and catch those fish. It's, to me, an easy button is freshwater, in my opinion. It's a whole lot easier than saltwater, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's easier, but it's not easier to catch fish.
So you talk about drama, this and that. There may not be as much drama.
You look
with
so
saltwater
pretty.
fishing, but
My granddaughter wants to tell y'all, hey, say, hey, Mr. Pete.
hey,
Say, hey, Mr. JR.
Hi there.
when
Love
you
your tiara.
king tournaments in the fall time, that's when you start seeing a lot of drama. Trust me, it's there.
We took him to Pirates of the Caribbean, so she's a little mermaid. Hold on, she wants to show you her crown.
That's called a tiara. That's a tiara, Wes, not a crown.
She said it glows in the dark.
Oh, nice. It's beautiful. It's so pretty.
Pete, when's your next trip? Have you got anything planned? Thinking about it, or
Nothing planned tentatively. The biggest plan I have right now is picking up my other boat from JC here soon.
What is what now, Pete? I'm sorry, you got what now?
It's the only big plan I got coming up my boat from JC here very soon.
So is he done completely?
Almost.
No.
One more thing.
No. Now, what all did you have done to it?
So my schedule's rough right now. I got a small trip coming up, then I go for a training in Denver. So when I get back from training, it's when I pick up the boat on the 27th, which is my only day off practically before I go back to work again. But all lithiums, rewire, live scope in the front, live scope pole. What else? Just a lot of tightening up on the wiring.
Good deal. Yeah, JC's good with that wiring.
Yep, that's what everyone says.
Got a flyhead tournament August 19th, Wes.
Where at?
In your local waters, whatever waters you want to fish. It's going to be online.
Online. How are they going to do that?
I don't know. If you're interested, send Jeff Beal a friend request.
I think we're already friends.
Okay. Well, there you go. Just message him and tell him you want to get in the flathead tournament.
I don't add just everyone that adds me as a friend on Facebook. I actually scrolled today to see all the requests. I have like over 160 some odd friend requests right now. And all those 160, I'm going to say 125 at least are holding a fucking catfish in their dang photos. Name my friends. Name my friends.
Well, if you guys want to challenge, get in that tournament and get your asses whipped. That's what would happen.
Well, it's not hard to get your ass whooped if you don't do nothing or don't really know a lot about something and you just jump into something blind.
Well, just treat it. Go into it as you would striper fishing, trophy
I would accept
striper
that
fishing.
challenge if I was off on a weekend in August against
You
you.
know, Pete's got to have that certain window.
Damn.
Well, it's August 19th, Pete. So if you happen to get that off, then get in it with us. We'll see what day that's on. Probably a Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
See, and there again, Scott Perry. He's been on this damn here for what, 30, 40 minutes? And he couldn't answer one damn phone call. I was going to try to give him some fresh fish. I mean, that's what kind of friends I've got. I'm glad that I'm not dying. I really need somebody.
On a Saturday.
God almighty, Wes. Yeah, you're right.
Damn. You going to fish it, Junior?
You know what, Wes? You might even carry that damn EPIRB with you because if something does happen, you might flip that damn switch. It'll come to you in your backyard.
That's right.
Well, all right, guys. It's been a good show. You want to go ahead and call it?
Here we go. No, that's fine, buddy. I'm tired. I think my granddaughter wants me to hang out with her. You want Papa to hang out with you? Huh? You do? Okay. Look at Riggs. Look at his puppy. Hey, Pete. Sure. Look at Riggs. That's Pete's puppy.
Oh my goodness.
Look at it. His head.
That might not be healthy. That might be too much of a close relationship with your dog, Pete. You might
So-
wanna-
No,
This-
not at all.
This type of dog right here, they literally got to be touching someone all the damn time.
Yep, Copper's the same way.
You know, for
Copper,
might-
listen, Copper's in my lap, in my wife's lap when he sleeps with us. He's touching one of us.
Y'all might want to
both of
go talk to a shrink about your relationships with your dogs.
I trust him more than 99% of the things.
You damn right. You damn right. Hey, that dog, our dogs love us a whole lot more than anybody else in this world does, brother.
That's right.
Believe that.
That's right.
Believe that.
I agree with that. All right, guys. I guess I'll see you next week. Maybe we'll get some more people on next week. Maybe we can promote the show a little more. Maybe we can do a little extra on
People
moving-
want to see
moving forward.
drama, man. That's what they tune in for. So let's
It
start
is.
some damn drama for next week. Someone hates someone, you know, whatever. Someone
I'll see-
talks shit about something.
I'll see what I can do.
Listen, that's sad. That's sad that the world has become that. I mean, you know,
It's true. Absolutely, it's true.
yeah. And I don't
Well-
like drama no more. I don't like arguing. I mean, I ain't gonna argue with nobody. If I don't like you, hell, I just, like I said, block your ass on Facebook if I don't like you. You know, and if you don't like that, call me. We'll meet somewhere.
Let's
You know,
do it.
we'll
Let's
get it figured out,
let's just do it for the heck of it. Let's make a little drama. How's it?
Okay.
Be on the lookout.
Well, here's a good
Oh,
drama show. Get Chris Brown on here and Benji Smith and let them argue over why Chris caught that fish and kept it.
And it gets Scott Perry involved too. There you go.
Oh well, Scott Perry's going to get involved. If this drama,
Scott
Scott
Perry's
Perry
gonna
will
be
be
involved
there.
regardless.
Damn.
All right, guys. Good night. See you next
All
week.
right.
All right, man. Get out, fellas.